John farmed the smallest, rockiest plot on the edge of Harmony Valley. While his neighbors used towering machinery and expensive fertilizers on their rich, black acres, John worked his small piece, nicknamed John's Edge, with a stubborn hand plow and an endless supply of patience. He didn't have much, but what he grew was always the sweetest, the most vibrant. John wasn't just a farmer, he was the valley's quiet, unofficial caretaker. If Mrs. Rodriguez's fence blew down, John was there with new posts before the rain started. If young Timmy needed gas money for college applications, John mysteriously left an envelope near the mailbox filled with cash from the Harvest Fund. He never accepted payment, only a shared cup of coffee and a story. His generosity, however, came at a cost. His own barn was perpetually in need of repair, his truck often sputtered, and his clothes were patched so many times they looked like a textile map of his kindness. The other farmers, while appreciative, often shook their heads. "John, you pour all your water on everyone else's soil," they would say. "Your own crops will wither." Then came the year of the dust. A relentless, 4-month drought scorched Harmony Valley. The river trickled to a muddy line, and the modern irrigation systems of the big farms failed. Fields cracked open, and despair settled over the community like the fine brown dust that coated everything. The large farms, reliant on predictable systems and maximizing profit, were ruined. Their fields, optimized for quick growth, withered under the stress. But John's Edge was different. His small plot, while struggling, remained miraculously green. His corn was stunted but standing, and his heirloom tomatoes were small but firm. One scorching afternoon, Farmer Greg, who owned the largest farm in the valley, walked up to John's fence, his face etched with defeat. "John," he muttered, How do you still have green on this rock pile when my 20 acres are nothing but dust?" John looked at the parched earth and smiled sadly. "It's the roots, Greg. I didn't push my plants to grow fast. I spent years conditioning this poor soil, helping the roots grow deep, not wide. When the storm comes, those deep roots hold on." John knew his meager harvest wouldn't save the valley, but it was enough to save the spirit. He didn't sell his crops. Instead, he worked day and night, hauling water from a small, protected spring he had cultivated for years, just to keep his plants alive. When his small harvest was ready, the sweetest apples, the toughest squash, the firm corn, he drove his sputtering truck slowly through the valley. He didn't drop off food, he dropped off seeds. At every ruined farm, he left a small, handwritten card attached to a packet of his tough, drought-resistant heirloom seeds. The card read, "These roots go deep. Plant now. Be patient." The message wasn't just about farming, it was about community. He was sharing the decades of quiet labor he had poured into his soil, the labor of resilience and deep-rooted care. The drought finally broke with a violent, soaking storm. The mud washed away the dust, and the valley began its slow recovery. When the next planting season arrived, the neighbors didn't rely solely on their giant machines. They started a new tradition. They spent a week working John's Edge, rebuilding his barn and fixing his truck. They saw the value in his poor soil, not just for its drought resistance, but as a symbol of the deep, unbreakable strength they now shared. John was overwhelmed. He finally accepted their help, not out of need, but out of the recognition that generosity, like farming, is a cycle. The following autumn, Harmony Valley had a record harvest. It wasn't because of the machines or the fertilizer, it was because every farmer had mixed John's tough, resilient seeds into their own crops, strengthening the whole valley from the root up. John watched the sun set over the green fields, his old hands resting on the newly repaired fence of his small farm. He finally understood the secret of his soil. It wasn't the nutrients he added, but the compassion he poured out. The kindness he gave away was the very thing that nourished his own life and brought the greatest, most enduring harvest back to him.